Hey everybody, Paula Shaw here. It's time for 11:30 at 11:30, highlights from the Silver Linings Playbook. Okay, total truth. Is anybody else waking up in the morning feeling like, I'm over this? I'm over COVID-19. I'm over the rain in Southern California. I'm over it. Well, that's how I woke up this morning. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but I'm going to take my bracelets off here so I don't drive myself crazy with all the sound. Yeah, it was just one of those mornings where I can't say I woke up like really feeling sad. It was just like, enough. I'm done. You know, I've done it. I've made the best of it. I've been positive. I've tried to reach out to some people. I'm done. And I suppose partly it's because I found out yesterday from my son that he would not be coming to see me for Easter, which I have to admit I was really looking forward to. As much as my days are filled with chats with the neighbors. Excuse me. Let's have a little sip of water here. I can chat with my neighbors at a safe distance, and we're all out on the porch at night at 8 o'clock clapping and cheering. And at least it's time for a little catch up, a little connection, and I'm really enjoying that. But I miss my family. You know, we are going to do a family Zoom for Easter, and I'm very much looking forward to that because there's something good about being able to have that video connection so we can see each other moving and talking. But anyway, if any of the rest of you are feeling like I'm feeling today, a little bit, or like I felt when I woke up, I'm on the mend. I'm feeling a little better now. If you've reached that point where you're just going, okay, COVID-19, we're done with you now. We're over it. We want to go back outside. We want to hang with our friends. We want to see sporting events and plays and go out to dinner. God, remember what that was like? I mean, we're really such wusses because it's only been 3 weeks. And I know people in the course of the history of this world have suffered through far worse for far longer. So I know I'm an admitted lightweight, but that's how I'm feeling today. However, I still managed to go online and look for some good news to share with you all because we do need to stay in touch with the good things happening out there. So, one of the first pieces of good news is, in spite of everything you're being told, 99% of the people who get COVID-19 are recovering. They're just fine. And that is far less than the deaths we experienced from MERS, M-E-R-S. Remember that one? We had MERS and we had SARS. Well, MERS, 34% of the people died. And with SARS, 11% of the people died. With COVID-19, it's 1%. So I think we need to keep that in perspective to help us let go of some of the fear. I'm not saying don't be cautious, we need to still do the things we're doing because that's why it's going well. It's also really good news about this virus that children are affected far less, and if they do get it, they have much milder disease. So that is a relief to all of us who love our children. The number of cases is falling, and in Wuhan, where it all began, there have been no new cases reported in several days now, and it's also on the decline in Korea. And here's a great piece of news. We've got the internet, don't we? I mean, just like I was saying, my family's not going to not see each other at all on Easter. We're going to see each other on Zoom. We're going to be able to interact and laugh together and maybe even be all eating at the same time. We'll almost feel like we're having Easter dinner together. So that's really a good thing. I mean, think about it. When the plagues were going on, or even the Spanish flu in 18 something, people, when they had to stay in their homes, they were in their homes. And if you lived alone, you were alone. And if you needed something, there was no way to let your neighbors and friends know. So we have so much to be grateful for in relationship to that. You know, people are connecting through Nextdoor. If you haven't tried that yet, there's a lot of great neighborhood news that's going on through Nextdoor. So that's a way to connect with people who are close to you. Let's see. Oh, this was really cool news. Many celebrities and athletes have stepped up. And not only are they creating some of the fun videos we've seen and little films, they are donating money and resources, especially like athletes are donating to the people who've been really financially hit, who normally are the workers at the stadiums and the arenas where they perform, and people in restaurants who have been totally knocked out of work. So it is cool that a lot of people who are stepping up to give. And that's one of the beautiful parts of this whole thing that we're seeing is the beauty of the human spirit. So that made me really happy to read that. And although this isn't something that really feels good right now, they are also saying that our response to future pandemics will be so much better because of what we have learned through this experience. Now, join me in saying, may there never be another pandemic, because we've all paid our dues and done our time now. But should there be, then we're better prepared. One other thing that I experienced yesterday that I really want to share with you, because I think this could be happening in all of your communities. We had a press conference here in San Diego, and I attended because of my radio show, Change It Up Radio, which, by the way, I'll be recording a new episode of that at noon today, and I will be live streaming it. So if any of you would like to join me for Change It Up Radio, please do at noon. I think we'll be coming from this same page that you already know where to find me. But yesterday, a press conference was put on by the San Diego Emergency Child Care Task Force. Now, the reason this group formed is something that may not occur to all of us, but the healthcare workers who have to go to the hospitals to take care of our sick, many of them have children, and the schools are closed. So they are having to scramble to get child care because many of the child care centers have closed down. And this is turning out to be an unexpected and really huge expense for them. And for many, they're having a really difficult time finding that child care because so many people don't want to go out and, don't want to expose themselves to anybody other than those that are already living in their home. So it's a real problem. And at least for those of us here in San Diego, please Google the San Diego Emergency Child Care Task Force and see if there's any way you can help. They are appealing to the county and then eventually the state for funding because they need around $5 million to help all these healthcare workers pay their child care expenses. It's something I hadn't really thought about, but yesterday during the press conference, a nurse spoke, and so did a first responder who are hugely impacted by this. They even if their children are ages 11 or so, which feel like ages that maybe kids could be alone, they're not necessarily. I mean, those of us who've had kids know two siblings, 11 and 12 or 11 and 10, not necessarily a safe situation, leaving them home alone. And so these parents are going to the job not only with the concerns excuse me, of what they have to do at work, they're worrying about their kids. So this is a thing that we all want to be proactive in helping with. So find out what you can do. They need donations, they need people. They're working with first-class child care people, teachers and other child care providers, professional child care providers. So check that out. See if there's something that you can do to help. And I also talked about yesterday that I was going to talk about today some of the right things to say if you're a person who's being told by others things that don't feel very good for you to hear. And unfortunately, I did not put my book in front of me, so I am going to keep that promise to you tomorrow. In the meantime, I would like to say, if you're enjoying these little segments, please share them with other people who maybe need a little something to lift their spirits too. And thank you for those of you who comment, for those of you who let me know, you tell me your name so I know you're here, because otherwise it sort of feels like just speaking into the dark and you don't know if anybody's listening. So I thank those of you who are here this morning. I thank you for sharing this with others. And I make my promise to you that whether I wake up feeling great about it or not, that tomorrow I will be here at 11:30. I have a feeling it's going to be a baseball hat day because the cavalry is coming. My hairdresser has agreed to come over and do my roots, which I'm cleverly concealing so far with careful parting, and help me with the extensions. So tomorrow I'll be here, probably baseball hat and all. And I'm going to indulge myself one more time in saying, hi, Ellen, I love you so much. Michelle, hello. Oh, Linda Boddicker, long time no see. And my brother, Craig, oh, thank you for being here. And Patricia Bell, thank you. David and Chuck and oh, my beloved sister-in-law. I thought about you just this morning, Andrea. Don't even say the name of my sister-in-law correctly. Well, hey, it's COVID-19. Everything's acceptable. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you to those of you who are here. And don't forget, share this with other people and see what you can do today to help somebody out there or reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Okay? For those of you who have time, I'll see you at noon for... what's the name of my show? Change It Up Radio with Paula Shaw. Okay, bye. I think I better go get my brain on before I start that one. All right, see you soon. Take care.